Hello, Gemini. Elsie here to do a reading for you. How are you, Gemini? Thank you so much for clicking here. I'm here with this deck. We are going to look at the rest of the month of May is what we're looking at, and that takes us into your season, doesn't it, Gemini? So let's find out what's going on with you, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We're going to start with this deck, the Psychic Tarot, and then we're going to go into a regular tarot deck. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you all about how to find the extended and how to get a private read if that's what you'd like to do. Let's find out what's going on here for you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We are reading for career, finances, and love for the rest of the month. Tell me about Gemini. We have awareness. Okay. So I feel this awareness. This is the Magician energy. And I'm going to say to you that this is really an important card to come up in your career energy, because this is your reminder to stay aware and also to be aware that you are the one creating your reality. So what do you want to do with it? You've got all the aces up your sleeve. I feel like you're someone who has a lot of information. You are someone who has a lot of resources, a lot of skills. And so please don't feel like you're stuck, because I feel like you can go anywhere with the awareness that you have. Tell me about finances for Gemini. We've got financial and material changes. We'll find out which way that is in just a moment when we come back with clarification. But financial and material changes. Now, fives are usually lack, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could just be that it's change, because fives are usually about change. You could be taking a different path financially, doing something differently. Yeah, you could be doing something differently with your money in the month of May. Tell me about love. We've got moving on. Okay, very interesting. We'll talk more about that. Six of Swords is what that is. To me, we've got something that possibly might be coming to an end here. Card number 21 is the Universe card here, but it is the World card. Oh, we've got authority. I feel like I feel like there is a chapter closing, and you might be going off on your own, either in terms of work, maybe starting a business, building your empire. Maybe you're building it on the side as a side hustle right now, but it does feel like you are going to be accomplishing something or reaching some sort of an achievement. Let's look at tarot for you, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini and this awareness in the career energy. Tell me about Gemini. We've got the Four of Pentacles. Why are you holding back? I feel like you are holding back from an opportunity to build somewhere else. That's what it feels like here. You've got the opportunity in hand. That's what it feels like. Those Three Pentacles, Capricorn energy, tells me that you're planning to build elsewhere. You might already have had an offer to do something different. We do have Justice here. And we have the Two of Cups. So something that I feel that you will love. So awareness, that's sort of magician energy. And so I want to say that you really do have the opportunity, and I think you're getting downloads about this, maybe dreams or something like that. You do have an opportunity, and I feel like it's already in hand. Now, I don't think you're telling anyone about it in order to keep the peace, because Justice is here. You might have one bestie, or you might have a work bestie, or you might have somebody who you share this type of stuff with, right? Could be inside or outside of the workplace. It likely is inside the workplace. We have the Two of Cups here. And the Two of Cups isn't always romantic. It could be, but it's not always romantic. It's really just the reciprocal energy of emotion. And so that type of thing in the workplace next to Justice would be like somebody that you know keeps your secrets, right? Somebody that knows about your family, knows how many kids you have, knows if you're married or not. Like that person keeps your secrets. It feels like that. And so I feel as though you do want to do something new, create a new path, take a new opportunity. But this Two of Cups might be something that is deterring you, because it feels like this person is somebody who gives you emotional balance in the workplace. It might be a little hard for you to pull away, is what I'm saying. But I feel like the offer that you've got in hand is a big one. We've got the Ten of Pentacles here. I also feel like you've probably worked at this place for 10 or 14 years, it feels like. Like you've had a long stay here. But I also feel that you think it's time to really look around and see what's out there. I think you already have an opportunity. Or if you don't, my friend, I feel like you will have one in the month of May. I feel like a new financial opportunity is coming to you in terms of a career. It might be a change of career, because I feel like with the awareness card, the Magician card, you call the shots. You might be going to school. It might cost you money, right? But the Ten of Pentacles is here. I think you get paid really well for what you do. But I also feel as though it's not really doing it for you anymore. I'll say with the Justice card here, it feels like it's a calm environment, a harmonious environment. But I also feel that it's playing it safe. And I don't think that the Magician always plays it safe. The Magician is willing to take a risk, but only when they have all of the information that they need in order to move forward. I think ultimately what you want is you want to change in your material wealth. Your financial and material changes here. I think that's what you're looking at. And so it's not that you hate the place that you are. I just feel like you know that you're worth more, or that you should be paid more, or it's time for you to look for that job that you'll be at until retirement. It feels like somebody here knows that the only way that they're probably going to get that raise or the promotion or whatever it is to change jobs. Talk about financial and material wealth. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. So I think you're doing all right. Like, it feels like you are somebody, I'm not saying that you're super wealthy, but I feel like you're a person who is surviving the economy at this time. It feels like you are stable and sturdy. I feel like you're able to still buy groceries, eat well. It's not like it's not expensive for you like everybody else, but I feel like you're trying to keep ahead of the economy. That right now I think you're breaking even financially, but I also feel, I feel that you feel the pinch. And so you know that you've got to do something to up your finances here. Got the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, you're cultivating. It feels like you're waiting for the right moment to make a decision, but it's a practical decision. So I don't think it really matters whether or not you love the job or like the people you work with or any of that. I feel like they're connected. They usually are in a reading, but it feels like somebody here is thinking about heading down a new path. It's going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to save a lot of money. It feels like somebody here is waiting for the right moment to make a practical change here. It's an intentional change. And I feel like you, instead of being in the place where you're putting in a lot of hard work in order to make more, which means I think you're doing a lot of overtime. I think that maybe you've got a bit of a higher position where you work, but it feels like you spend a lot of time making money. Whatever that means. You could have a job and a side hustle, but you spend a lot of time making money here. Yeah, I think you want your finances to work for you for a change. It does feel like you are somebody who just wants to be in alignment financially. And when I say in alignment, it seems like you want the alignment between your happiness and your financial state. And like I said, I don't feel like you're looking at being a millionaire. I mean, anybody would want to, but I feel like you just want to be able to buy what you want, be able to be able to buy the groceries that are a little more expensive, or not have to run your car in close to the E gauge in your car, the gasoline gauge there. I feel like you are doing okay right now, but I think that you want to go to the next level. And it might be a wish fulfillment of yours just to have a little bit more breathing room financially. And I think you might get that opportunity to do that in the month of May. We've got the Four of Swords here. So I feel like you are getting some clarity about your stability. We can see there's a tree there, and we've got 4 swords. I feel like you're getting stability, clarity. trying to figure out what it is that you can do in order to get more stability, to get very clear. I think month of May is you become very clear about what your path is and what your plan is, because we do have 8 pentacles. The Queen carries 1, and then we have 7 with the 7 of pentacles. You're willing to put in the hard work to get your wish fulfillment, but I feel like, the 7 of Pentacles is putting in all the hard work, but the 8 of Pentacles is the harvest. So I feel like you're trying to become clear or find new ways in the month of May to have financial and material changes that are a positive move for you. Let's talk about love here. It could be platonic or romantic, but let's talk about it regardless. Tell me about moving on. What's this? We've got the Strength card. What's going on here? We've got the Star. If I wait and hold back, maybe something will heal. I feel like somebody here is in a mood to move on. I feel like you hold back a lot, friend. I feel like you hold back a lot because you know if you let that lion go, it's going to be a bloodbath. I'm talking about your tongue right now, right? Like, I feel like you want to try and heal this because at one point it was your wish fulfillment, but it also feels like I hold my tongue a lot. I feel like you hold your tongue a lot in order to keep the peace. I've got the Emperor energy. You could be dealing with someone in your life who is the Emperor, or maybe you are the Emperor. Take it as it resonates for you, but this is control. It feels like somebody here really controls their tongue. They don't like that they're stifled, but they know that in order to keep the peace or the hope of keeping this together, whether you're just dating this person, whether you're married, whether you're living together, whatever your status is, I feel like somebody feels as though they must have the strength or the courage to hold their tongue, and that's no way to live. One more card. We've got the Hermit energy. I think you spend a lot of time in silence, or maybe by yourself. I feel like you're probably someone who's a little bit older, or if you're not older, you're quite wise. I feel like you spend a lot of time thinking. It feels like you are a thinker. I feel like in this friendship, relationship, whatever this ship you're on is, I feel like you feel controlled, or you feel like you must control your tongue at all times. It does feel like you are possibly in this place of exploring yourself spiritually, trying to find your way around in the dark. I don't think you really know what to do about this situation, and you're like, maybe I should just go. Maybe I should just move on. But I think you have carefully and systematically built some sort of empire. It could be a financial empire, right? It feels like you have built stability. You know, when you build an empire, it takes some time, right? So it feels like you've known this person for a long while, or you've built some sort of stability or trust with them, but I feel like you feel as though you can't step out of line. Yeah, it feels like somebody here holds you to a higher standard than they hold themselves. Some people do that, right? I get that all the time. Yeah. People are like, you call yourself spiritual. Dude, I didn't say I was a Christian. Careful now. Don't take my kindness for weakness. I always say I'm not nice, but I am very kind. So I think this is sort of the energy. I think I'm saying that because that's the energy I'm getting from you, that you're always very kind. And I think you kindly hold your tongue. You don't say half the things that you want to say get stuck in your filter. There are times when you're going to be unfiltered, but I feel like that's why you like to spend a lot of time alone, because people might trigger you. Yeah. You're not interested in being around people who trigger you. So the thing is that we do have this Universe card here, and that's the World card. And so it does feel like you're headed for the door. I'm going to say that you haven't decided if you're going to leave yet, if you're going to leave the relationship, the friendship, or the dating, or whatever it is, but it feels like you're heading for the door. You're considering heading for the door. Bottom of the deck, yeah, damn, there's the Fool, right? 3 of Pentacles. It feels like if this was a loving relationship, it feels like it's fallen into the 3 of Pentacles, which means it turned from a love relationship into a partnership where we are cooperating and collaborating financially, building a future, building things financially, but there's no cups here. No There's Virgo energy, which is somebody who I feel is watching your every move. It does feel like you hope that this thing is going to carry on, but I honestly feel as though someone here is headed for the door, or it has crossed your mind like, I might be alone, but maybe I'll feel the most in control if I'm alone. It feels like there's somebody here who really has, I'm going to say that somebody who really has you under lock and key. Somebody who really, expects that they can say whatever they want, but you're not supposed to say whatever you want. That's what it feels like here. So it feels like with the Fool energy here that it feels a little scary. You can see it looks a little ominous, right? Can I make it to the other side safely without falling into the gullet? It feels like you want to take a leap. The Fool is here, but it's terrifying. Yeah. I feel like you're trying to organize your thoughts before you decide to do anything rash. That's what it feels like. Look, we're going to go into the extended. If you want to go into the extended with us, then please look at the pinned comment that is right at the very top of all the comments. You just click on the name of the video there, and you will see a whole description pop out there. If you're interested in coming with us, please check into the link that is for the membership. That's where all the extendeds go. If you're interested in a private reading based on your energy for the month of May, then please click on the link to Hypsee, take a look at my packages and pricing. And let's find out, let's put down 3 more cards and find out what else is going on here. For those of you who are not going to join us in the extended, maybe you'll get some advice from these 3 cards. And for those of you who are going to be in the extended, we'll put these down and we'll explain them more in the extended. We've got the 7 of Wands. Somebody's about to stand up for themselves. It feels like you've had a block. And I feel as though if you're in some sort of relationship, it feels like you're preparing financially. And that's why you're in this awareness of the Magician energy. Because I feel like you're like, wait a second, in this Hermit energy, wait a second, I'm in charge of my life. I get to say what I want. I get to do what I want. And I understand that in a relationship, you really do have to coordinate, right? But I feel like you're in either a friendship, a loveship, or dating somebody who doesn't allow you to be yourself, say what you're going to say. Tell me more. We've got the 5 of Cups. Yeah. It does feel like there is, we got the King of Swords. Damn. Eeks, the King of Swords is in the reverse. Look, you know what's going to happen is somebody is shaking up the glass bottle of pop right now. Soda. Cola is what it is. I'm seeing the glass Coca-Cola bottles, and you guys, I'm 58, so I'm seeing one from a while ago, and somebody's shaking it up. And you used to have to take the top off. You couldn't, when I was kids, we didn't have the one that you would just take the top off that way. You had to actually open it that way, burp it kind of. And I feel like this King of Swords tells me that if somebody places more pressure on you, that you will definitely walk away, regretfully walk away, but you won't do it quietly. Because the King of Swords in the reverse is somebody whose all bets are off. Look, I was holding my tongue. I was holding my tongue for the longest time, and I don't think I can do that anymore. With the 7 of Wands here, somebody's standing up for themselves, and all bets are off. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I don't care if you like it. I think that you do this sometimes when the pressure gets too high, and I feel like you regret it later, but I do feel like this is a point of make it or break it. I think you are thinking about what it would feel like to be in your wish fulfillment. So I think that you're in the mood of healing your finances in the month of May, because I don't know that you know what is going to happen with this relationship, and you want to be prepared financially. And this might, when things are changing around, that's usually the time to make, to go on a new diet, to discipline yourself, to change your job. Sometimes all the changes at once. Oh, right. All the changes at once. That is Uranus in your sign. So you're looking at things from a different point of view. And I feel like it's hard for you to bite your tongue. And that's why the King of Swords is in the reverse. Because Uranus is stirring you up, right? That's what it feels like. Look, we're going to go into the extended. Yeah, look, there could be a fight here. There could be, I feel like you're battling yourself to not say anything. The illusion is you're happy, and I don't think that you are, because we've got the 7 of Swords here. I think you're just not saying anything in order to not start a fight. Okay, so we're going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, that's where we will be. I'm going to go, but I will be back because I'm always back. Take care, Gemini. See you in the extended if that's where you end up. Bye-bye.